You know, after the previous set of chapters, I am actually looking forward to this. Who knows? Maybe this will actually be good. Again, Nami did have Xenolestia. Oh well, maybe the author will just retcon it. I feel like he's been doing that with Xenolestia throughout the whole entire set of Drift chapters. Seriously, I'm not the only one who sees this, right? Oh well, set adrift, navigator in the storm. No, you gotta kick up, otherwise the sky flashed white. Rainbow Dazz's ears popped from a blast of thunder that echoed through the air. Rainbow Dash felt parts of her fur lift up, while the static buzzed around her. She blinked, it bit her lip as she looked down at the peach-colored mirror crumpled by the foot of her house. A bit of smoke trailed up from the burnt tips of her fiery orange vein and past the threshold in Dazz's house. Tank cautiously lifted his head out of his shell, and peered at the dark clouds rimming into the new view into the house. A crackle of lightning looped through them, forcing Tank back into his shell. Dash sighed, ran her hose over the thunderclouds, and returned to the fluffy white state they had been before she started this morning's training. Drifting down to the clouds that made up the ground around her house, she reached out to the Pegasus and helped her up. Told ya! Nami glared at Dash and coughed up a bit of smoke. I knew about the charts. It's like these stupid hopes interact with everything else that's the problem. Dash pursed her lips. I can't tell if that's whatever you come from talking, or does that messing with your head. Either way, just sit down, take some water, and watch how a pro does it. Dash guided Nami over to a small ridge of clouds, and used her leg and wing not supporting Nami, to craft the clouds into the rough shape of a couch. Setting Nami down, she zipped into her house and returned a second later with a glass of water. Then she smirked to spread her wings. Now, pay attention. Dash bent down and scooped up some clouds with her wings. Clasping them between her hooves, she jumped into the air while cradling them close to her chest. A bit of the clouds trailed off, but the majority stayed in Dash's grip until she spread them out and folded them into the wall. There was a brief moment where the old and new clouds met and darkened, but a quick brush of Dash's wings turned it to a uniform white. When she ran out of clouds, she darted down, scooped up some more, and repeated the process until the hole was completely filled. All in about 30 seconds. Dash smiled at her work and flew over to Nami. You catch all that? I did, Nami sighed. She bent back a hoof and kicked out a small bit of cloud from her couch. Floated in front of her. She snatched it up with another hoof, pushing it back and forth. It slowly dissolved into mist. Darn this stupid magic! It's even crazier than this idea! Dash noticed Nami clenching her teeth and took a seat beside her. Don't get too strung up about it, though. I mean, even ponies that get basic Pegasite training would have a hard time keeping up with me. Hooray! Nami huffed. Dash scratched her face. Hey, that's not the attitude I'm looking for. So you got that. Happens to every pony. Even the Wonderbolts mess up with a stunt every now and then. I mean, they look awesome while recovering, but still. Nami furrowed her brow. Anyway, Dash blushed and scratched the back of her head. You're making good progress, and keeping our architecture is a step up, so buck up. Dash delivered a playful slap to Nami's back. She spun out of her seat when her hoof passed through Nami. Nami's body wavered, and then dispersed in the air. Dash's wings unfurled, she managed to catch herself before hitting the clouds. The leaf on her face turned to annoyance when Nami poked her head out of the clouds and booted her on the nose with her climb attack. Dash looked bright red. 100 push-ups, stat! Another 100 if you tell any pony. And give me that darn thing! Dash snatched the climb attack away from Nami, with one of its rounded heads pointed at her chest. A small yellow ball of energy popped out of it and connected with Dash's stomach. Sparks exploded off of her as she collapsed next to Nami. She managed to raise her head with a glare that could peel off paint. Not one word, she coughed. You're probably one of the two ponies I know I can take grass, dandelions, and wild mushrooms and make it all work, said Nami, as she took another bite of the quease in front of her. Oh, don't be silly, Nami, Verity chuckled. Any pony with basic cooking skills can make this. Though, I suppose, coming from my family, it's saying something. You've got me there. Even my captain couldn't burn and liquefy toast. But he and the rest of your fans sound like they look quite delightful, if a bit eccentric. Rarity took a bite of her meal. And I do hope we're able to meet them once Princess Celestia gets all your travel issues sorted. A small line was on the tip of Nami's tongue when the distant rumble of thunder cut her off. She glanced out the window and looked up at the clear sky. Only a tiny spot hidden between the buildings and some distance away from Ponyville was black and heavy with clouds. My, the thunderstorms on the Everfree are quite violent, aren't they? Randy commented. It's a good thing we've got ponies like Rainbow Dash to ensure it doesn't spill into Ponyville. Imagine, weather running completely amok. Nami kept her eyes on the distant clouds, watching lightning light up parts of them. Cyclones, massive waves, and gales that could tear the wood off a ship flashed through her mind. And there isn't no squalls, though, or friends furling the sails, sailing the violet currents, and grinning through the thunder and rain. Nami smiled. I think I can. Oh, Randy bent her head down. Sorry, I forgot that things are different from where you're from. Nami waved her hoof back and forth. No worries. Anyway, how's business going? Quite well. Randy smiled and let it drop a moment. I mean, it's getting warmer out, so it's not practical to wear gems, even if all the Fawcett magazine says diamonds are simply a must-have for the season, especially if you got the garnets or amethyst tomates. Nami glanced aside. Sorry. Oh, no, dear. Randy placed a smile on her teariness, but that didn't extend to her eyes. It's not like you control when the gems are ready in the field. Besides, one mustn't rely solely on magazines for their Fawcett sense. No, one must understand what the public wants. And I'm sure what the public wants is some nice solution with a splash of color, and if necessary, I'm sure I can scratch up some gems. I'm sure you will, said Nami. Maybe if I finally get the hang of shaping clouds out of normal shapes, I can help you tomorrow. Really? Randy smiled wide. Why, that would be fantastic! And I'm sure Spike would love hearing more of your stories. For not living in the clouds, you're quite good at spinning tales about ponies living up there. You'd probably give A.K. Yearling a run for her money if you wrote it all down. Yeah. Randy took a sip of her tea. It didn't seem to notice the thin seam of sweat on Nami's brow. So, the Pegasus functions as the primary energy source, a catalyst for the phenomena. But once a sufficient reaction is built up, the weather acts of its own accord? Nami asked. While she scribbled down notes, it appeared to the text in front of her. Twilight grinned wide. Yes, right on the mark. The first is also true. A Pegasus can stop any phenomena by directly interacting with it and interrupting its cycle. Of course, in both cases, the Pegasus needs to be careful in the handling of all that energy. Otherwise, it won't flow properly. Or take the easiest path to escape, Nami muttered, thinking back to her morning training. Correct once again. Twilight lit up her horn and floated a piece of chalk in front of her face. Unicorn magic operates on the same principles, but without a physical byproduct for energy to go into, which usually leads to an improperly cast spell simply failing and energy dispersing, though a large enough spell can lead to backlash. Nami nodded, jotted down some more notes while Twilight put the chalk back. What about Earth Pony? Their magic and manifest their endurance and strength. Dear Myken, please take note of this fact. Thank you. It also allows a much greater connection with the land than what Pegasi and unicorns have. In cases of high enough magic, they can even manifest abilities similar to spells that can aid in planting or a geological phenomenon. It's a lot more passive magic, but still vital to Equestria. Now he tapped her pen to paper. So if you placed all three on the spectrum, Earth ponies would be the most physical, while unicorns are the most adept at directly handling potential energy, and Pegasi are somewhere in between. That's the prevailing theory of magical dissemination among the three races for you. Twilight set the textbook on the stand she had set up by Nami's desk, pulled out a stack of papers bound by a glossy cover. I'm hoping to add addendums in it, though, in regards to draconic magic, as well as unique manifestations that blur the lines, like large-size connections to animals or rarities connected to gems. And whatever Pinky does, Twilight paled. Not Pinky. Trust me, some things are best left alone. You sure you don't want to run a few more tests? Pinky pressed her head close to Twilight's. I like wearing silly science hat. Twilight yelped and jumped off into the air. She found herself clutching the chandelier and looking down at Pinky and Nami. Nami set her book aside. Pinky looked up at Twilight and giggled. Well, that's a new record. Even better than Nightmare Night. And here I was enjoying the afternoon, said Nami. A big hoof wrapped across her back, and Pinky pulled her closer.
Oh, come on, Nami. You think I don't notice I remind you of a certain sub-pony?
I never...
You don't need to see it. I can just tell.
Pinky's grin whined.
Is it one of your crazy rock friends? Do they like sweets? How about parties? What?
A claw gripped Pinky's muzzle shut. Spike looked up at her and tapped his fur. Don't get me wrong. I want to hear all about Nami's friends too. But some of us enjoy Twilight time, or as I like to call it, Spike's afternoon nap time. Spike pulled back his claw and Pinky blessed.
Oh, sorry.
Twilight floated down from the chandelier, covering the glow of her own magic. Let the aura fade once her host touched the ground. It's fine. Did you want something, Pinky?
Oh, right. Pinky turned to Nami. So, Apple's just getting really excited for Apple's birthday. But you know how things are on the farm. And even I can't do too much without asking for pay. Apple has gotten some good friends now. And Applejack is hoping maybe this birthday will be a really big one for it. And maybe getting your key mark big. Something really super extra amazing spectacular could do that.
So, performance then? Asked Nami.
Pinky got on her knees to put her forelegs. Please, with extra icing sprinkles and chocolates into your cheering. I normally don't ask like this, but since I lost my coin purse...
I swear, that drinking competition was a disaster for every pony. I'll do it, Nami answered. Pinky sprung on her.
Thank you. Help!
Nami coughed. Taking a deep breath, Nami set the tome in front of her. She took a glance at her notebook and rechecked the trigonometric formulas and rough sketches before she closed it, knowing that the paces were already dwindling down. Moving out of her seat, she tugged the tome under her wing and then placed it back on the shelf. Done for today? She turned to see Twilight emerging from the basement.
Yeah.
I think I'm making good progress in my cardiological research. I may be able to get back to my friends sooner than I expect. Getting a ship of supplies will be another issue, but the less I have to deal with that princess, the better. Great! Twilight got closer and backed up the shelves. You know, it is nice to have another dedicated scholar in town. Nami blessed. Twilight, you're too kind, but I'm just not a good navigator. You're the real scholar here. I only wish I knew cartography like you, though. Twilight's eyes narrowed slightly. Or oceanography. It's not a subject most ponies deal with. Nami felt her heart quicken. Well, my hometown does fish a lot. I really need to ask Princess Celestia more about this when she has the time. Twilight rubbed her chin. You're sure you could tell me a bit more about the life back where you're from? The princess was very clear about the diplomatic policies for discussing my hometown. Just a bit about my job and friends, and that's it, said Nami. Well, it's getting late, and I should be going. Nami launched the air and bolted out the door. Twilight blinked while paper swirled around her. Spike poked his head out of the bedroom and glanced down at the slight mess at the bottom floor that had turned into. I think Daz is starting to rub off on her. None of her study habits aren't easy to go by. Twilight loaded up the papers around her and compiled them back to orderly stacks. Then she pulled out some books out of the shelves and reordered them as well. Her pace slowed when her brow furrowed, and after she set the rather hefty copy of Hippocrates' books back in place, she glanced over at the door. But I don't recall Daz saying she got in that fast. Ugh, not good. Nami complained to herself while she climbed upwards towards the sky. I'm getting sloppy. The distant rumble of thunder cut through the air. Nami glanced at the horizon and felt something icy pressed against the back of her mind. A massive amount of thick clouds as black as soot covered the entirety of the Everfree and stretched past the horizon. Lightning whizzed through the dark clouds, highlighting the way that they curved around each other like a massive spiral. Just imagining the force of wind that contained in that storm sent a bit of chill down Nami's spine. Yet the late afternoon sun flew a fluffy clouds that hung over Ponyville stood right beside it. Although the barometric pressure and temperature had shifted slightly due to the storm according to the instruments Nami had borrowed from Twilight, the weather still remained as sunny as the scheduled desk said it would. Nami still couldn't decide if the weather here was more or less chaotic than the Grand Line. After a few more minutes of flying and watching the storm churn over the Everfree, Nami crested over a rather bulbous cloud and came upon Das and Fluttershy, standing in front of Das's house. Fluttershy looked up at Nami, then back to Das.
Oh, I really should get going. Thank you again for the help with the animals today. Just remember what we talked about, okay?
Des glanced over at Nami while she landed. Something in her eyes made a few hairs stand up on Nami's neck. Yeah,
If you need any more help fighting the shelter, I'll be right over. Okay.
Fluttershy bowed her head, took to the air.
Be safe.
Des gave her a wave and smile. You too. Fluttershy waved as he flew off, and stole a brief look at Nami. Nami waved back and turned to Das.
Everything going okay with Fluttershy?
She asked.
Yeah. She's just been a bit busy lately, setting up the extra shelter space for the animals, since all that activity over Everfree has driven a lot of them out of their homes. Not as much better up here. I mean, we could totally handle everything, but just to be safe, Tay's gonna be enjoying a little reunion with friends back at Fluttershy's too.
Nami followed Das from when she, in turn, and entered her house.
Back from where I'm from, we consider that a pretty big accomplishment. Just from the looks of it, even Canterlot would be trouble if that storm blew into it. Well, luckily, Canterlot's got the princesses, and Ponyville's got me.
Des flashed Nami a smile, but then sighed when she fell into the empty couch.
Even I can't be there for everything, though. And we're getting calls from all around about the weather messing things up. Apparently Applejack and her family even have a few sap apple trees going off early.
I'm sure you'll scoop up every bit of jam they make from them.
I would, but unless they're prepared right, those things are 100 times worse than any shock some clouds or your crazy sticks can give.
I wish that this was all wrong, though. Des pulled a hoof behind her back and produced a few jams. Nami's pupils shrank.
I think the storm must have unbroken some hidden gem field and lost them all the way up into the clouds. But I bet you've never seen weather like that before.
Nami kept her eyes to the floor.
No. The wind and pressure needed to send gems those sizes up this high is monstrous.
Yeah, monstrous. Des snorted, blew of a tough remain.
It did give me inspiration for our training tomorrow. I was just planning to teach you about reinforcement and stability measures, but since my house is already taking damage, we're going to need to do a full sweep of the cloud.
Nami called, We are?
Yep.
Des stood back and closed the distance between herself and Nami. She raised her hoof and pressed it to Nami's chest.
This is going to be your first serious assignment, so I'm going to need you to give it your all. My house and your room are on this line, so I can trust you to be ready and give it all tomorrow.
Of course, Nami said. Des brought her face closer to Nami's.
And you'll be honest with me. If you see anything, and it looks like you can't handle it,
yeah, when will I get zapped like this morning?
And there's anything you're worried about, you can tell me. I know you're new to flying and weathercrafting, but I know you're also a hard-working pony with some great friends. So you can tell me if there's something bothering you. About training, I mean.
Nami slowly swung her head back and forth, yelling and skimming Des's nose.
Nope, all good here. But thanks, Rainbow Dash. I'm glad you think of me like that. Yeah.
Des pulled her head back and marched over to the kitchen. Sure. For a moment, Nami was alone in the living room. She glanced at the gems glistening in the glow of the sunset and sighed. Okay, at least it was only a few gems. She went to her desk sitting at the table. I'll just move things after she goes to sleep. Rain cascaded down outside the window, while Nami's reflection stared back at the inside of her room. Nami had nearly choked on her pasta when Des brought it up over dinner. A late night sprinkling to balance out the temperature and pressure fluctuations the Everfree was causing. Nami kicked herself for not having skipped town earlier, but that would meant less gems and bits to make the trip to the coast and getting into a boat. It also meant less time at Twilight, making the best guesses she could to a rough location. The onset of flight had been her failsafe, but Des discussing about the multiple exploits of the Wonderbolts and their dual nature as performers and elite agents of the Crown quashed that idea. The rain was just a cherry on top. Nami clenched her jaw. Des was on to her. Twilight wasn't probably far behind either. She underestimated ponies and gotten greedy. But if Des knew about the trail currently setting below her hooves, there was no doubt about Nami's mind that Celestia would be summoned. She was still skeptical of the whole controlling the sun bit, but didn't doubt the power Celestia had over the island. Taking a breath, Nami fell back and collapsed on her bed. Des was telling the truth about the rain. It would probably let up around 3. In that case, there would be an hour to wake up, move as much of the loot as possible, then get back to bed and wait for Des to come in and get her up for breakfast. Nami reached down and tinkered with her alarm to set back an extra hour and a half, then closed her eyes. She had to look the part of at least having gotten some sleep. The sharp crack of glass, shattering, followed by water pelting her coat, thrust Nami out of her sleep. She snapped her head back and forth, taking in the broken window, and the wind and rain now pouring into the room. Something whizzed by her face and smacked through the wall on the upper side of the room. Nami leapt back when another object careened into the room and slammed on the spot in the bed where she had been. She looked down and saw the golf-ball-sized hunk of hail that tore a deep hole into the bed.
Nami!
Nami spun around to see Dash at her door, eyes bulging out of her head. Dash darted over to her and grabbed her by a leg.
Come on! We need to get to ground level. Stat! Wait a second.
Nami raised her leg for Dash.
What's going on?
Dash spun around and grabbed her again.
No time to talk. Somebody slipped up and the Everfree storm is getting out of control. Hasn't it been that way? Yes, but... Gah!
Dash pulled Nami over to a cabinet and pulled out 2 sets of hard hats and goggles, 4 pairs of boots, and 2 sets of tube-like pieces of some sort, thick yet flexible enough with vein sight-like senses trailing down them.
Let's get this all on. You're about to get one Tartarus of a lesson.
While Dash raced to put on her own gear, Nami darted back into her room in a blink of an eye to grab her climate tech as well. She quickly suited up and made her way over to the door behind Dash. Taking a deep breath, Dash put out a hoof on the door.
This is going to be the weather they tell you to run from in flight school.
Dash opened her eyes.
Flight school never said anything about protecting Ponyfield, though. On the count of 3, I'm going to open this door, grab my hoof, and for the 11th Equestria, don't let go. Ready?
The whole house creaked and groaned around Nami. In another room, the glass shattered. She checked to make sure the pieces of the climate tech were secure around her waist, then clasped Dash's leg.
Let's go!
An unburied tree hurled through the air like a piece of garbage. Its roots and branches smacked against the rooftops, tearing away any tiles, smashing windows and scraping paint off the walls. Its destructive tumble came to a stop when it smashed into a shimmering shield that surrounded Town Hall. The shield pulsed with magic while the tree pressed against it. More before the combined pressure from the wind and shield snapped the tree in two. The broken pieces disappeared into the howling winds, a torrential downpour tearing through Ponyville. Beside Town Hall, sweat dripped from Twilight's face. She looked to her left and saw that Rarity was breathing harder than the other unicorns in town, the horns alight, showing similar signs of fatigue. Her gaze drifted over to Applejack and Big Mac, humming down planks over the windows, before her horn burned again. She saw her eyes, as did many of the other unicorns, and they focused their attention on the shield. Behind the perimeter, the unicorns had set up near the wall. Fillies, colts, and at least one of their parents held close together. From the windows that weren't fully boarded up yet, they could see the storm raging outside the shield, sending bits of homes and the forest through the air into who knows where. Every now and then they caught a glimpse of color streak through the sheets of rain and thunderclouds. When lightning flashed, the tiny silhouettes of Pegasi dyed the sky. Outside, the wind tore at Nami from all directions. She could feel the gales ripping at her wings, but the guards that Dash had given her helped keep the wind from pulling her feathers off, or worse. Her vision was framed in wire droplets that swayed back and forth along with the wind. It also pelted her body like she was being assaulted by miniature slings. She held on tight to the great Pegasus Dash had left her with. She was a bit slower than the other Pegasi, but with a flap of her wings, she was able to sift through the maelstrom of currents and guide Nami over to the edge of the clouds. She scratched off to her offset eyes and let loose a kick that sent sparks flying, dispersed a bit of clouds into the mass of water that fanned through the storm. Nami swung her attack at the clouds, releasing a flurry of red-blue balls. Parts of the clouds quivered before they unleashed several bolts of lightning and collapsed in on themselves.
You're really good, Miss Nami,
Derpy lisped. One of her wings flapped up and fizzed into a cloud. Electricity coursed through Derpy's body, and Nami gave thanks again to the rubber insulating her hooves. Derpy's eyes focused for a brief moment before she coughed, and her eyes returned to their normal skewed consistence.
Oops!
Nami shook her head and looked around. Other Pegasi buzzed around them, all of them linking legs with one other pony. The most lithe and aerodynamic of them pumped their wings and flew against the howling winds, following out their force into slightly weaker gales. The bigger Pegasi brought their rubber-coated hooves down into pieces of thunderclouds with all their might. Lightning roared out of the clouds. It sunk a second before the damaged piece exploded into a mass of wire that crashed into the ground. Dash was smashing clouds left and right, while also tearing through the whirlwinds. Yet all around her, ponies were getting zapped and smacked with debris. Dash herself was showing a few welts and cuts along her body. A bit of her coat and mane had been singed. She gritted her teeth and rocked towards another cloud and plowed her hose into it. The right area in front of her face crackled and burned bright. A wall of yellow stacks shot up in front of her. The lightning bolt exploded into the crowd and washed over the yellow construct before splitting into smaller bolts. She then turned to her left and Nami flashed her a smile. Close call.
I'll say.
Dash turned her head down, spotted Derpy waving over them from a good distance away. She didn't look to Nami.
What did you get so fast?
Used the currents. Des narrowed her eyes, but then shook her head. Face dropped when taking in the scene around them. Less and less Pegasi were in the air. Those were showing off bruises and burnt fur while they lifted the sky. All the while, the storm continued to tear through everything around them. Dash could feel the pit in her stomach, dragging her to the ground.
This isn't working,
she said in a tone void of her usual bravado.
We don't have enough power to turn back the outer rain bands,
Nami sighed, whining. If you could push it to the eye.
You just said we don't even have enough power for the outer rain bands.
Dash yelled over the wind.
There's no way we can even pierce the eye wall. We can.
Nami clasped Dash on her shoulder.
The Snow Cloud Buster formation plan. Plus, that move you're always bragging about.
What?
Dash yelled. If you lost it, that formation only works after days of wrapping up the rest of winter. And you want me to add a rainbow to that? That's
what I know the best flyer in Ponyville could do. Nami held her attack up to Dash's face.
You're the only pony that can lead the formation with enough force to break through. As for conditions, I'm predicting a localized cold front perfect for pulling this off.
The fire in Nami's eyes ignited Dash as well. A grin returned to Dash's face as he gripped Nami's toe tight.
I gotta shape up. You're giving me a run for my business. Ponyville's crazy as Pegasus.
The pair flapped their wings and bolted over to the closest group of Pegasi. They crossed their faces, hearing the plan for Nami. But when Dash backed her up, they nodded and flew off to relay the message. This continued until every able flyer gathered together. Dash surveyed them and raced ahead through the heights of those roaring winds.
Alright, every pony! Time to show them what this storm we're made of!
Dash spun around, planting her hose in front of her.
Form rank! Time for a little magic then.
Nami stepped over the group and saw blue spears all around them. A chill filled the air and the rain came down thicker sheets, till finally scented into tiny icicles that drifted onto every pony's goggles.
What's your tempo? Charge!
Dash shouted, then strode straight ahead. Your Pegasi raced up to Dash's cyclone wings. The clouds were still thick and crackled from lightning, but the drop in temperature in the immediate area had forced them to stiffen, locking their icy water. With their combined might, the Pegasi tore through them. Ever get this feeling that this author really likes Rainbow Dash? Now he breathed deeply, while Twilight Dash's message played through the back of her head. Use wings to sense the air and gaze the pressure. Feel the currents trailing around your hooves. Taste the moisture blanketing the sky. Now he concentrated and shot out volley after volley of cool balls. She sensed the air charging up to the left and sent out a wave of static. Lightning flashed and bounced off her shields while the ponies behind her continued to race forward. Every couple of seconds, her attention shifted to the front as she saw a burst of cool and heat balls towards Dash. The pressure tugging on Dash's wings faded, just enough for her to flap them a little harder, while the cone of air forming in front of her remained steady and continued growing. Every pony behind her pushed with all the strength and watched as the clouds scattered around them. The cone in front of Dash then grounded to a mass of clouds, so dark and massive it appeared like a void. Lightning lashed out in front of the impact and crashed down on the Pegasi behind Dash, while the pressure in front of her diverted the bolts away from her. Nami now matched their cool balls with thunderballs. The ponies were still getting shocked and dropping to the ground. Yet the ones still flying continued to keep formation, even when their wings were clipped by bolts, or when the rain fell upon them again, no longer in sheets, but like a full-on waterfall.
Come on! Dash shouted. We got this!
A Pegasus huffed while he fought against Supreme Gale, pushing everyone else back.
Just a little more, said a mare.
Dash glanced back, felt the pit returning to her stomach. Even with Nami's plan, even with everybody's help, even with all her power, the wall still wouldn't budge. The cone in front of Dash shrank.
I can't do this. We can do this!
Nami yelled, having appeared at Dash's side, pushing forward with all her strength, sending out more and more balls.
My forecast is never wrong, and I know you never give up!
Dash dug deep and pushed her wings even harder. Nami raced the hoof up, even while the storm tried to pull it back, and cast the top end of her attack. With one great tug, she brought the two upper pieces together, and disconnected them from the bottom piece. The pressure dropped immensely around her and Dash, pushing back the wall, the air trailing off of Dash and clustering gained a glow to it. Nami bent her back legs and threw the combined pieces of her attack forward.
Cyclone!
She shouted.
Wave boom!
Dash yelled. Streaks of color raced through around every pony, swirling behind Dash. Mighty tumble of thunder roared out of the wall, and tendrils of lightning ripped out of it. They couldn't pierce through the rainbow of air and light surrounding every pony. The shivering tip of death shot forward. Breaker! Every pony shouted at the top of their lungs. Okay, I hate it when Myken has Dash yell out Sonic Rain Boom like a freaking Sonic Boom attack. But in this case, this was done so well and done so coolly, I'm going to let it slide. The formation exploded and a burst of light and pressure drilled straight into the center of the clouds in a blaze of color. The clouds were sent flying in all directions before they vanished into the air. For a brief moment, the entire sky was filled with every hue a pony could possibly imagine. Then the stunning display expanded out to a ring that raced into the horizon, leaving only a clear blue sky in its wake. Nami opened her eyes to find herself resting on some grass. She got up, shook her head, and saw that every pony was scattered around her in a similar state. She yelped when a blue hoof slapped her across her back, and Dash pulled her a hug. That was awesome! Dash squealed. I can't believe it worked, Nami said, taking a chance to glance and marvel at the sunny sky. Wait! Dash pulled back and stared at Nami with wide eyes. What? Well, it all sounded right in my head, but it's not like I've ever done anything like that before. Nami winked at Dash. It all worked out, though, right? Dash shook her head, chuckled. And you make it sound like you're the normal one with your friends. Nami grinned. What do you think that says about my friends? That I definitely need to meet them if they're as awesome as you. Dash gave her a pat on the back and looked at her, took to the air once again. Everybody looked at her. Everybody listen up! We just pulled off a stunt that would make even the Wonderbolts blush. But we still got some work to do. If you can still fly, we need to check for every pony that got scattered while we were in the storm. We need to get every pony back in town to help too. There's probably a lot of damage in town, so be careful. Right! Every pony responded. Martial art for user. Yes. Let me see your fist held up. Power Ranger reflex. Tears welled up in Pinky's eyes, staring at the crumpled, massive cupcake in front of her. The 3 birthday candles that poked out of its vibrant magenta frosting lay scattered around it, and one west of the wall was some unfortunate pony's shop. Mrs. Cake laid a hoof on Pinky's shoulder. Oh, dearie, it's not the worst that could happen. After all, we were thinking about adding that expensive for the twins. I know, Pinky sighed. She looked down at the ruined top of Sugar Corner again. Her lips quivered. Tears shot out of her eye. Why couldn't it have actually been made of a real cupcake, though? Everything I know is a lie! Mrs. Cake sighed and went back to picking up the debris. All around town, ponies were skipping up tiles, glass, branches, and everything else the storm had thrown at Ponyville. The paint had been wiped off from a number of houses, and parts of the roofs and walls of some buildings were missing. But there were only a few shops and homes that had been fully devastated by the storm. Every pony felt a small sense of relief, even if a few eyes twitched in taking in the damage, particularly a certain fashionista that failed to properly secure the dyes she was using for clothing. A lot of the Pegasi wished some ruined wallpaper was their only concern. Cloud homes were easy to reform, but the items held inside weren't easy to retrieve if lost. Dash's heart sank, seeing the entire top of her house shaved clean off, the base torn apart in places, but still standing. I knew that I should have rechecked the texturing, Dash grumbled. Guess I've got my next few lesson plans cut out for me. Yeah, I guess you do. Dash shut her mouth and zipped over to one of the tears at the base of her home. Nami's pupils shrank when she saw something glint from nearby. With a gulp, she came down near Dash, but made sure to stay out of her hose reach. Dash pulled something out of the cloud, but kept her back towards Nami. I don't even want to think of what could have happened today without your plan. It was mostly you and the other Pegasi, Nami said in a low voice. No. Dash tightened her grip on whatever was in her hose. We may have the skill, but we don't have experience dealing with weather like that. Nami, what you did helped a lot of ponies. So... Dash turned and faced Nami. In her hose were 2 pouches. One with a trio of diamonds, and the other with a trio of balloons sewn into it. Behind her were even more pouches embedded in the clouds. Gems glistened all around them. A few scientific instruments could be seen as well. Nami inspected one of her legs. You're going to have to work back double what you took from every pony. Plus, lessons are going to be a lot harder now that I know you've been keeping your real speed a secret from me. Nami blinked. What? I mean, we'll probably need to talk to Twilight about it, said Dash. Make sure you don't get thrown into jail or something. But I think we can arrange things so we get every pony back their stuff without you actually being charged with anything. It seems that my students' cleverness has rubbed off on you, Rainbow Dash. Dash and Nami both went white. They turned and were met with Celestia floating up by the edge of Dash's house.
Xenolestia! Just when I thought that this fic was getting good, you came in and ruined everything!
I know, I hope that the author can fix this. Because gosh darn it, if
we weren't enjoying ourselves! Yeah! Why did you have to come in, Xenolestia? This was a really good friendship moment. You just had to ruin it. Go on, leave! But, leave! Yeah, go! Pinkie Pie looked up. Yeah, just go! Leave! Beat it! This story was pretty dang good until you showed your fat face!
Twilight, I agree. Everybody would be better off if you didn't just show up. I have to agree with them, Xenolestia. This is just... No. No. I was happy, I think everybody else was happy, and that was a really good Rainbow Dash moment, and you just came in and ruined everything! I'm going to read the rest of this part, if only because I'm stuck here. But F you, Xenolestia, you found a way to ruin every good thing that I was feeling about this. F you hard. That's not... I don't think that's your responsibility. No, Celestia glanced at Nami. The sun might as well questioned on her. We need to talk.
Wait, Dash cried out. I know Nami messed up royally, but she...
A flash of golden aura forced Dash to shut her eyes. When she opened them again, she was alone in her cloud. She sunk to her haunches and sat in silence for a moment, before she clenched her teeth and took off for Ponyville. Nami found herself one end of a long hallway. Stained glass lined the walls, and the light seeping in through them colored the hall in a vast array of colors. Xenolestia stood beside her, glared down at her, stuck out one of her legs. Let's walk, shall we? Nami just sighed. Do we have to? Everybody doesn't like you. You're like the most hated character on this. Quite a day, Xenolestia said while they walked. It's been some time since I tried to open up the emergency release fund, but I'm glad the amount I'll be sending you Ponyville will only be small. I should be ready to upending the cure everyone, including magical beasts, though. Nami remained silent, kept her head bowed. From what Twilight says, though, it was quite an impressive feat the Pegasi pulled off. I never would have thought a human creation would be so vital to protecting my subjects. A shame it came in the hands of such a greedy human.
Flip it, Flam.
Okay, except for that one guy from Viva Las Vegas.
Okay, except for him, but Rarity can be greedy sometimes, too.
Shut up with your facts! So she shook her head.
That was quite a mess. At least I'm putting your departure on infinite hold. If it were up to me alone, I'd slap you with every violation I could find in the book. But I'll have to consider your contributions in saving Ponyville as well. Combined with this, I think the excessive and the movement of Candlelight, so I can keep a closer eye on you, will do for now.
Xenolestia's horn flashed, and a newspaper floated over to Nami. She gasped, thinking of the solemn poster of a man in a straw hat placed over his chest. She read over the headline of the story, rested it to make sure. Placed it over her mouth. Luffy. I'm sure you want to cover your friends the captain at this time of need, Xenolestia said, but you broke my kingdom's rules, and for that you will be...
Oh! Twilight! Sorry, I just had it up to here with you, Xenolestia!
Twilight growled, her magic glowing as she charged her horn.
Now get out of here so we can enjoy the story again!
With that, Twilight blew Xenolestia away. The real Celestia smiled and tapped Nami's chin. For such a devious little cat, trickery and all that, you have a good heart, Nami.
Then why are you bringing me here?
No, Celestia just smiled warmly, and she knelt down. Because, she chuckled, if I didn't at least put in one thief into my room, then what sort of ruler would I be? After all, you are a devious pirate, are you not? The navigator, the king of the pirates. I'll have to keep an eye on you, don't I? So, tell me all about your captain. I don't care what punishment you may come up with me. If Luffy can still get up after everything he's been through, who am I complaining about punishment for death? There's a certain time I'll need to get back to him and my crew. He's so reckless, he'll get killed if I don't watch out for him. He's a stupid pain in the neck. I know all about that. Celestia smiled and looked at the distance, where her little sister was busy playing chess. I have my own pain in the neck sometimes. Now he smiled wide, and that's why I have to help him. Celestia nodded. She stood. Now, for your plus, and that's when a little parchment showed up in front of the both of them. Dear Princess Celestia, please, 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 please don't bash Nami to the moon. Yeah, she messed up big time, and I should have been able to stop her. I guess I got caught up in having a student of my own and having fun teaching her about flying and everything else that's awesome about being a Pegasus. I've been thinking about something myself for a while with the way she sometimes acted. Maybe I should have told you when I found a gem yesterday. If I had done that, though, Nami would have been able to save Ponyville. If she was really that bad at a pony, it wouldn't have been that hard to run away during the storm. But she stuck through it like the friend I know she is. So please, if you're going to punish her, then punish me too.
And me.
I am Molly. And me.
And me.
And me. Sign everyone. A smile framed Nami's face, and her eyes glistened by the time she was finished reading. Celestia drew a little closer to her. I had to say, loyalty encourages much. Nami could only smile and chuckle. Yeah, it does. Having friends who forgive and trust you when you do something wrong is more valuable than all the bits and gems in Equestria. Therefore, by royal decree, I send you to community service until at least the debt you stole is paid back to your victims. After that, you are bound to be an upstanding citizen of Equestria until the day of your leaving this fair land.
I don't like it.
Des grumbled, pressed her hoof into the cloud in front of her, and retracted it.
This doesn't feel right.
Nami pouted her lips and waved her hand to the cloud. It is a cloud. Does it matter how we made it? Or would you rather wait for delivery like everybody else?
Or you could just turn around.
Des's heart skipped a beat when she spun towards where the voice had come from, and found Spitfire standing on the edge of her home, with a massive cubes flying behind her. Nami stared at her and raised an eyebrow. Spitfire flashed him a cool grin, and made her way over to them.
Your work saving Ponyville's gonna be one for the books.
She elbowed Des aside.
It's been a while since we had an applicant be as crazy to actually plow through a storm wall. You gotta let the kids, kid.
Des's entire face had gone hot pink for a blessing.
Thank you, ma'am. Not only that you're the only one that's been making a name for themselves lately. Even though no point better you send your actual name up to HQ. Nami.
Nami stuck her hoof out, Spitfire clasped onto it.
Nice to meet you. And good to meet you if young Pegasus like yourself.
Spitfire's gaze drifted over to attack.
A lot of ponies have the misconception that the Wonderbolts are all about shows and handling emergencies no pony else can handle. That's a big part of our job, but as the fastest and toughest Pegasus around, we're always testing the limits of flight and weather manipulation. So on top of everything else, we value ponies that can think outside the box. Trust me, using some sort of stick to craft the weather is far from in a box. You'll need to ship it.
Des and Nami stared at her for a moment.
That was the part where you at least chuckled.
Des sighed.
Ah ha ha ha,
Des forced out. Spitfire shook her head and looked back at Nami.
Anyway, from what I've heard, you're good friends with Rainbow Dash already. So you get on the application's progress. You shouldn't even be in the same class. This is strictly between the three of us.
Well, we got a cadet selection coming up soon. We're fairly favorably on town savers.
Oh my gosh, 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 oh my gosh!
Des said in the lowest voice you could muster while containing her excitement. Nami brought up to her chin. Sorry, I don't know how much you know about me, but I'm still learning a lot about Pegasi and Equestria. How long does this process take?
If you really keep at it and show us what you got, you could be a full member within a little over a year,
Spitfire answered.
provided you pass through the application and cadet process.
And you say that besides fighting and physical duties, you work with Feather a lot too?
Spitfire smiled. Yep, some of Cloudsail's most vital operations had their start with the Wonderbolts.
Nami thought back to a time when she was crying into the dirt. Her treasure had been taken, her family marching to their deaths. Blood spilled from the gash where she tried with all her might to cut the tattoos stained on her skin.
Luffy, help.
She could still feel the straw hat that sat on top of her head.
Of course, Nami. That's just what friends do.
He's gonna pay! Right! Dump, dump. Donna, Donna!
Just who were those two guys that came here to pick a fight with us? Were they part of Zoro's crew?
No, they were too weak to be any part of any real crew. Probably just a couple of idiots.
Bam! Bam!
Which one of you's Arlong?
I have someone I need to meet in 2 years' time, so I can't stay after that. Is that okay? Spitfire tapped her chin and glanced at attack, then looked at Nami.
You better be worried to work air flank out then.
Every pony that's joined the Wonderbolts have left their mark on Equestria's history.
Prove you can too.
Spitfire fried her wings, and with one flap of her wings. She was already sipping off the rice, and Dessa's smile exploded onto an uncontained grin, clasped Nami by the shoulders with sugar and excitement.
Oh my gosh!
Dessa exclaimed.
We got Spitfire's personal rectification! I never heard of any pony getting that!
Sounds like we got a lot of work to do then, Nami mused. Ness pulled back, counted her hoof and straightened up. Fire danced in her eyes.
You got that right. If what Spitfire says is true, we got until the end of the summer to get you into sea for the Academy, to get me even better than before. We're gonna have to eat and breathe train until then.
Nami smirked. Does he already? Des grinned and Barra was sending out a hoof.
Let's prove the Spitfire we're not just gonna make the Wonderbolts, we're gonna be the best Wonderbolts ever.
Nami shot out a hoof and locked legs with Des.
Deal!
2 years later.
The gunshot still echoed throughout the bar. Everyone had been trading glances at the opposing man in a straw hat, ever since he had lumbered with half his crew. No one dared to stare too long at him until he unloaded a bullet with some unfortunate pirate. When the man sneered and swung back at the wall of his crew, everyone quickly turned their heads away and tried to ignore the fresh puddle of blood on the floor.
You there, woman!
The man called out, pointing a grimy finger towards the bar.
Don't drink on that twig! Come over here!
The woman in the green striped bikini and jeans at the bar closed her eyes, sighed, and placed a hand over her clenched fist of her partner at the bar. She could feel the static radiating the other woman's fist, saw a few strands of her prismatic hair standing up. It looked like the rainbow thunderbolt emblazoned on the woman's swords were glowing. No thanks, Nami said. We're waiting for someone. Everyone else in the bar turned white and stood close and backed away. The barkeep hurriedly bent close to the two women, with sweat dripping down his face.
Oi, listen to me. Let's stay straw hat, Luffy.
Right,
tells the rainbow-haired woman. Nami glanced at the table the man and his cronies were seated at. One of her hands slipped underneath the bar and clasped a blue rod. Ava Death forced her grin to remain small, whilst he watched a tiny black ball form from the rod. You're not good enough to drink with, Nami said with a bored expression on her face. Understand? Straw. What was your name again? The bartender threw himself over the bar, scurried to the corner of the room. Everyone else either fled the bar or moved far away from the two women as possible. A thing frothed on the man's head and stood up and cocked a gun.
I said I'm Straw Hat Luffy!
He roared. Before he could even level his weapon at Nami, she found another gun inches from her face. The Scot woman holding it sneered, forcing her lips to straight across her football-shaped head. Lieutenant cackled when he shoved a shotgun gun into Das's face as well.
You've got two choices. Either accept Sophie's invitation or die.
She hissed. She didn't seem to notice when the air buzzed around them, causing her head to frizz up.
By the way, I have a bounty on my head, too. I'm the cat burglar. I'm not.
The woman exploded in a burst of electricity. A bit of smoke escaped from her mouth as she glanced onto the floor. Lightning crackled from Das's hand before she sat back on her side. The other crew members all turned red in the face and then charged at Nami and Das.
Special attack! Green Star!
Rang a voice that perked up Nami's ears.
Devil!
Fighting spread down nowhere, laced into the straw hats. While the battle devolved into chaos, and people ran right and left to escape their vines from pirates' wrath once they freed themselves. The man in a white-brimmed hat that failed to cover his elongated nose took a seat next to Nami and Das.
Looks like you made friends with another waremaker.
The man mused. He grinned until he sat up, revealing a mostly familiar face. Though the goatee was new, his curly hair now reached past his neck.
Mind if we share a drink? Usopp!
Now he flew out of his seat and hugged Usopp tight, burying his head in his chest.
Look at you! You've grown a lot these past few years.
You're wrong, too!
Usopp said, a voice muffled by Nami's breasts. Nami then pulled up, looking at the vines consuming the bar.
Did you do that? Yeah.
Usopp leaned back and propped himself on an elbow on the bar.
Knew my new weapon, the pot green. Sorry to say, but I'm not part of the weekly trio with you and Chopper anymore. Hey!
Das left her seat and got right in Usopp's face.
I'd like to see you make the Wonder Bolts in record time.
Usopp raised an eyebrow.
The Wonder what?
Nami took note of the black bubbles filling the air and clasped Usopp in Das's arms.
Come on, let's talk someplace else. Already?
Das scanned over the bar and master paced with Nami, while Usopp trailed behind him out the street.
That's a new record. What are you talking?
The shade under the Yakuman mangroves was right by the bar, turned bright with a flash of lightning, while the rest of the grove turned dark from the shadows cast by the tree. Thunder rent the air asunder while the bolts snapped over Usopp's head. Das grinned.
Yep, definitely a new record.
Now he turned her head to Usopp while keeping a brisk pace.
So, I have this new technology.
Usopp eyed Das.
And a new crew member? As awesome as that would be, I've got my own crew.
Das jabbed a thumb towards her chest.
We not be after the One Piece per se.
Ding! You just know how to follow me, don't you?
Yes, I do.
I love the One Piece encounter.
But you better be considered the Harmony Pirates your new rivals.
Usopp turned to Nami.
Is she serious?
Let her have this, said Nami. Das and her friends are doing more of an exploratory mission, but doing it while racing the Black Fang was the only way to get her to come along. Das crossed her arms.
And Tiki and I are the only reason we're going to do anything fun. Maybe Rarity might have gotten to treasure hunting, but Twilight would never do half the stuff we have planned otherwise. Sounds like you got quite the crew too, said Usopp. Hey, yeah, Das exclaimed. Just you wait. Before you know it, we'll be making as many headlines as you did. Jeez, you're almost as bad as Luffy.
Usopp sighed.
So, what'd you kill anyway? That power of yours almost looked like a devil fruit.
Das smiled while...
Oh, that's right. Nami said you're the ones who like to fib and make up stories. Well, see if you can beat this.
The Saboni archipelago rang with the sounds of battle. Massive beetles stomped over the Marines. Cross-dressers assaulted them with their martial arts. Ghosts had turned hardened soldiers into sniveling heaps. And even the Pirate Empress and the Dark King blocked all the Marines' attempts to stop the Straw Hats' escape. In retrospect, the 4th platoon got off pretty easy. Some soldiers sunk their muskets into the ground, while others kicked the mortars, taking loose a few drops of wire, which were instantly replaced by the downpour that surrounded them.
Damn it, man!
The sergeant roared, brandishing his sword, slanted through the rain.
I don't care how we'll do it, but we're taking the Straw Hat ship. We can still charge them!
The Marines all grabbed their weapons and lifted them up, before they could let out a ball cry. The rain stopped suddenly and started. They all looked up through the mangroves at a strange, solitary cloud, destroying any chance of using firepower. It was curling into its center, like turning into a cyclone. As it did, its black color gave away to stripes of red, orange, and yellow. A swirling cone of air emerged out of the cloud and angled straight down the Marines. Lightning arced around them, while green, blue, indigo, and violet joined the other colors, trying out the stunning phenomenon, forming a rainbow spiral. LC, the 1000 had taken advantage of Hancock's intervention, slipping away from the Marines below the waves. Everyone on board took one last look at the island, while a burst of color exploded out of it, raced towards the sky. Livy and Topper's eyes glistened like stars, taking in the dazzling event.
So cool!
Livy managed to say while spilling pure joy from his face.
Whose friend was that?
Nami put her hands on her hips and sighed. He's always so showy.
She?
Nami, Sanji's eye lit up and leaned over Nami. Oh, Nami, you just have to tell me what sort of paradise you were in, what sort of fine mademoiselles you trained with. Zoro crossed his arms and tilted his head back to look down at Sanji. Didn't you embarrass yourself enough, missing all of us because you were helping those women? The around Sanji grew harder and his hair spiked up. He went over to Zoro, grabbed him by his robe. Excuse me, mister, let's just cut up a ship because I can't follow directions. I happen to pride myself as a gentleman. I would gladly help those lovely ladies again if I didn't keep you, crappy ass, from starving. Zoro edged for one of his swords. That's a fact, curly brow, because I don't feel safe with some idiot who's going to bleed to death every time he lays eyes on a woman. Sanji's legs shot up, and Zoro seized his sword, but instead of arms sprouted up and held Zoro and Sanji in place, while Nami shoved herself between the two of them and pushed them back. Some things never change, she sighed. Robin smiled at the trio from the upper deck and dispelled the arms she summoned. I think it's cute. Sanji's eyes morphed to the heart and throbbed. A bit of blood trickled down his nose. Robin, you're too kind. You almost give those sweet girls from the island a run for their money. Zoro seized his sword and slammed down Sanji's railing. Wake me when we're at Fistman Island. Dealing with that idiot for the first time in 2 years made me sleepy. Sanji huffed and pulled his hands over his suit, straightening his out. He smiled, seeing that Nami was still sitting next to him. Is something the matter, Nami, sweet? It's just those girls. Did they happen to tell you their name? Oh, they did. Nami gave a small twirl. Fluttershy and Rarity. Such sweet and sensible names for such stunning beauties. I admit, seeing women for the first real time after that black hell, I suffered throughout my bit of my charm, but they barely seemed to notice. Sanji took a deep breath and placed a hand over his chest and bowed his head to Nami. Not to say they could ever fully match you or Robin, though. Nami tried to contain a chuckle and escape. Unless, by your standards, I think not. Why? Sanji raised his eyebrow. Oh, were they friends of yours, too? Nami sees you were in the paradise of even greater if he was. Someone tapped Nami's shoulder, and she turned to see Usopp, cracking up, forced a hand over his face. He has to bring his head close, and snickered. Should we tell him? Nami shook her head. I don't think his heart could take it right now. Well, the Nami chapters were decent. The first part, not so much, as it really did feel like Nami was showing off a little bit too much around everybody. And it felt like everybody's IQ was drifted down just a little. Also, Xenolestia kind of really ruined the mood. Here, once again, this fic gives me what I wanted in the main story. Interaction with the ponies and the pirates. Seriously, was it so hard to put this into the main story? Just a little bit of this? I didn't want Ennis Lobby I didn't want him peeled down all over again. I wanted this story. And the Rainbow Dash theme, pure awesome. Along with the way when Nami did help. Xenolestia's part was, of course, as always, annoying, bothersome, stupid, worthless, as he drug everything down. Still trying to figure out why in the other chapters, besides Robin's, we had Celestia be Celestia. But here, we got Xenolestia. The author's proven he does know how to work with her. Was there a change of pace later on in the story or something? Join us next week for when we finally, after 3 months, finish this thing. Yep, the last 2 chapters are next week. See you then.